Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is a video on top MCQ questions of object-oriented programming, specifically based on Java. So, the first question is, what does object-oriented programming stands? Like, as I said the full form of that. So, its option is A, object-oriented programming, which features bind data and methods together. This is nothing but encapsulation. And we have the third question, which object-oriented principle hides implementation detail? It is nothing but a abstraction. Which concepts allow one class to acquire another class property? It is inheritance. Runtime polymorphism is achieved by method overriding. And if we have compile time polymorphism, and this is achieved by method overloading. So which keyword is used to create an object in Java? This is new. And you can see in the option, these are nothing for class is for creating class, and there is a no terms related object to create an object, and so that's why. And we have also created class like for example, if you want to create a string class, so you create a string as equals to new string, and similarly the array list, linked, hash set, hash map and all. So which is not a concept of object oriented principle. This is encapsulation. It is a concept. Similarly, polymorphism and abstraction is also a concept of OOPS, but compilation is not a concept of object oriented programming. So which class is called the parent class? It is superclass. And which class inherits another class, that is child class or derived class? So which access modifier gives only access inside the class? It is very easy, as private. Which constructor has no parameter? This is default constructor. Constructor are mainly used to initialize object, or basically constructor is automatically called when the object is created. So constructor, tell me, I can tell about like constructor is the same name as the class name, and this constructor doesn't have a return type, and many more things. I hope you know this. So which keyword refers to the current object? This is key. This is the keyword that is used for referring the current object, and which is refers to the parent class. This is nothing but super, because this is referring for current object. Parent, there's a no parent keyword and at all. Extend for inheriting a class, and super is for refers to the parent class. Which OOPS concept improve code reusability? This is inheritance. Which relationship represent inheritance? Its inheritance represent is a relationship. Okay, and now we have which relationship represents composition. Composition has a, and I'm just asking, checking your memory, what is which relationship shows inheritance? That is a, and for composition has a. And which class cannot be inherited? That is final class. And more thing you can know that I will like final keyword, if it is used in a variable that cannot be reassigned in method, that this method cannot be overridden, and it is also cannot be inherited to if it is used as a private final class. So which method cannot be overridden is final method, as I told you earlier. Which keyword prevents inheritance? That is final. An abstract class cannot be instantiate. So abstract method is having a no implementation. Okay, multiple inheritance in Java is achieved using interfaces. An interface contains abstract methods primarily. And which keyword is used for inheritance? That is extends. Which keyword implements an interface? Implements, as object is an instance of class. 29 number question. Which memory state object is heap 1? And which memory stores local variable? That is stack. And which method is automatically during object creation? This is nothing but a constructor, which is not a constructor property. It is same as the class name, no return type, and that is can return int, because if it is not having the return type, so how it can return int? And the last option, initializes object, is it is a property of constructor, but the question is asking for not a property of constructor. Which keyword makes a member common to all members? Makes a member common to all objects. This is static, that is common to all the objects. Which concept allow one interface to have many implementation? That is polymorphism. Which concept reduces complexity? That is abstraction. Method overriding requires same method signature. Method overloading requires different parameter list. And which method cannot be overridden? That is final, but it is not mentioned in this option. So in this question options, so which keyword is used to define an interface? That is interface. Interface, and then you have the interface name. And if for implementing, the keyword is implements. Which OOP feature provides security? It is encapsulation, because it combines data member and member function in single unit. Dynamic method dispatch is related to method overriding. So the option is overriding. And which keyword execute first? Main, constructor, finalize or display? It's constructor first. And which of these is not access modifier? Friendly is not a access modifier. Public, private, protected is a access modifier. Encapsulation is achieved by using private variables and public getters and setters. Which OOPS principle allow one method to behave differently? It's polymorphism, because has the same name but having the different parameters. Which type of inheritance is not supported directly by the Java? That is multiple, because it create diamond problem. It is achieved by interface. Which class is the root class of Java? This is object. Which is true about abstract class? So can have abstract and can concrete method, and these three options are eliminated because this is not a property of abstract class. Which is true about interfaces? That is can have default methods. Which of the following best describe object oriented? This is programming using object oriented concepts, that is using objects and classes. So thank you for the watching this video. I hope this video finds you benefit. I hope you like video. If you require any question from my side, so you can pin on the comments. So thank you once again for watching this video.